Good evening. This is Brooks Compton, Mayor of the City of Centerville, and we've just completed our third council meeting of the year on March 20, 2017, and this is a summary of our meeting. Our meeting was called to order at approximately 7:35, and the invocation was given by Tony Miltenberger from the Centerville United Methodist Church, and the invocation was followed by a Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight, Belinda Kenley, our deputy mayor, was not feeling well, so she was excused from council this evening, but all other council members were present. Our previous minutes from formal council meetings, our work sessions, and also our retreat were approved this evening unanimously by all council members who were present. It was unfortunate that we did get a letter of resignation from Arts Commission member Rachel Selby, who did have to resign from the commission because she was moving out of the city. Bruce Robertson, the chief of police, introduced Centerville's newest police officer, Colby Keller. Officer Keller had been with the Ohio State Patrol and now joined our department and is active as an officer in our police department. We're fortunate to have his wife here and his brand new daughter, Brooklyn, and members of the family who joined him, and we're very pleased to have him as part of our police department. All of us had an opportunity to have our picture taken with the new officer, and I wish him the best of the luck as a member of the Centerville Police Department. This evening we also brought Robert Perkins, who has been a longtime member of this community. He's lived here for 67 years, and he was very active and involved in creating the Architectural Preservation District. He served as a longtime member of the Board of Architectural Review and also was a member of the Property Review Commission. And back in 2003, when Mayor Sally Beals, she presented him with the Mayor's Award for Community Service in 2003. So we were fortunate to have Mr. Perkins here with us this evening, along with his two daughters who enjoyed his ceremony of recognition this evening. Then we had a presentation by Brian Humphreys and Charlie Stegelmeyer from the Miami Valley Communications Council. Brian is the executive director of the Miami Valley Communications Council, and Charlie Stegelmeyer is the head of the Tactical Crime Suppression Unit. Mr. Humphreys gave a brief presentation about some of the activities of the Miami Valley Communications Council, and Charlie Stegelmeyer gave us a lot of information about the Tactical Crime Suppression Unit and answered a number of questions from council about what the TCSU does, how it's organized, and what different activities they participated in over the course of the number of years, which they were created back in 1974, so that would be approximately 43 years, I think, that they would have been active in our community. So we were fortunate to have both Brian and Charlie here to talk about the Tactical Crime Suppression Unit. In addition, then, we went to official reports, and we had a long meeting this morning, so there was very little that on the mayor's report, other than we wanted to say hello to Mark Kingseed, former mayor, who's probably watching our meeting and hopefully watching the summary, and then just a recognition of the fact that there's some pending legislation with the state of Ohio legislature that talks about centralized collection, an item which the city of Centerville and other cities throughout the state of Ohio has absolutely no support from the municipalities to start a process of centralized collection of income tax revenues from the businesses within our cities. So Greg Horn, City Manager Greg Horn spoke a little bit about that, and I spoke a little bit about it, the fact that we are definitely resisting centralized collection for the initial first step of net profit business tax. So we encourage our residents to notify our state representatives, Jim Butler, and also our state senator, Peggy Lehner, to let them both know that you are opposed and we are opposed to centralized collection. The city manager did not have a report tonight, primarily because of our long agenda. So we then went on to the report of the Planning Commission. And the first item for discussion this evening was the final development plan for the Randall residence, which is the property that's cornered by Sheehan Road, Social Road, and Paragon Road in the southwest corner of Centerville. And Dr. John Rawl presented a presentation, who is the architect for that development, along with a thorough presentation by Ed New Rodney, basically identifying some of the few small changes that have been made to that development plan, allowing it to go forward. It was approved unanimously by City Council. The next item for consideration was the final development plan for the multifamily development known as the Allure, which is going to develop the site formerly known as the Showcase Cinemas. Mr. Rodney, again, our city planner, presented a very thorough report on the development, and then Jared Barnett from the Mills Development Showcase Group was here talking about the development. I went over the design elements of it, what materials would be used, the layout of the development, its connection with Cross Point Center. And if you get a chance to watch the full meeting, it's a very thorough presentation of what that development will bring to the former Showcase Cinema site. We had a lot of discussion, a lot of questions, and ultimately the application was approved on a roll call vote. 5-1, Councilmember Angert voted no in this particular item. Then the last item under report of the Planning Commission was an application from Cornerstone Section 5 for a replat of Lot 3. And this is a standalone item for a standalone restaurant inside the development. And what they were doing was establishing some cross easements for parking lot use between two different portions of the development. In that item, they had a very brief presentation by Mr. Rodney, and it was approved unanimously by council. There were no standing committee reports, so we moved on to the consent agenda. And the consent agenda tonight had primarily items that you will hear about in our April 17 meeting or our May 15 meeting, because all we were doing tonight was on a number of items regarding rezonings, amendments to our Unified Development Ordinance and the Centerville Municipal Code, items that will be heard at the meetings upcoming in April and also in May. Then we approved through the consent agenda a couple items with respect to paving, approval of the project on East Franklin Street, which the project was awarded to Barrett Paving Materials. And then we also approved through our consent agenda an item brought to us by the city manager to enter into an agreement with Plant Moran PLLC for the financial system software for the city of Centerville is getting up to speed on current software for all of the computer needs in the city of Centerville, primarily related to our financial department. So we approved that also tonight, and Manager Horn is able to go forward and sign that agreement. And then we had a couple items where we reappointed some individuals to Planning Commission. Amy Karenni Both was reappointed to the Planning Commission. Joseph DeMorano was appointed to the Board of Architects Review, and Paul Hines was appointed to the Board of Tax Appeals. We did not have any citizens' comments tonight or petitions brought to council. And then we moved on to new business, which was an emergency ordinance to address the requirement that we publish in a magazine or a newspaper of general circulation items dealing that require posting in a public location or in a newspaper of general circulation. That was approved this evening. No additional comments or questions, and we then adjourned the meeting. So if you have any questions or have any comments or concerns that you'd like to address to council, please feel free to contact any of us. You can find our email addresses on the website. Or if you have any questions directly for the city manager, call the city building at 937-433-7151, and you will be able to watch the entire meeting at mvcc.net, where you can review any of our Centerville Council meetings or any Centerville items, or you can also go to Centerville YouTube channel for the City of Centerville videos. So thanks for watching, and look forward to our next meeting on April 17th. Thanks for watching.